Hi guys, my name is Mrs. Rhoades. Welcome to 180 Days of Spelling and Word Study. I'm here to get you started on Unit 1, Inflectional Endings. So let's take a second and make sure you have all your materials. You should have this purple book opened up to page 11, Unit 1. You're also going to need some colorful writing utensils, colored pencils, crayons, markers, highlighters, whatever you can find. You're going to see me marking up this board with my colorful whiteboard markers. Whatever I do on this board, you should do on your paper. Remember, you can pause at any time if I'm moving too fast and you need a couple minutes to catch up. Okay? So our focus this week is inflectional endings. An inflectional ending is something you add to the end of the word that changes its verb tense. So for instance, ed or ing, or it changes a noun. So it could change a singular to a plural noun. But an inflectional ending does not change the part of speech. So it changes one kind of verb to another kind of verb, or one noun to another type of noun. Okay? Now, this week we're going to be focusing on ed and ing endings. But before we talk about that, let's make sure we can read all of our words. So please repeat after me. Admitted, amusing, arrived, beginning, controlled, covered, decided, dividing, forgetting, happened, limited, patrolling, permitted, prepared, referring, retiring, settled, submitted, suggested, transferring. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is choose a color, any color, and we are going to circle our endings. So notice again, every word on this list ended with either an ed or an ing ending. Sometimes before we added that ed, we had to double the consonant. Sometimes before we added the ing, we had to drop an e. We're going to talk about all of that in a second, but first, just do what I'm doing. Go through your list, circle the ed or the ing, and notice sometimes you have to circle a doubled consonant behind it or before it as well. All right. How are we doing? Okay, so here's something that even grown-ups get confused about. These ending rules, okay? Let's start though with a key. So just like a key helps you unlock a door, this key is going to help us unlock all these colorful squiggles and circles that we put on our list. So on my list, anywhere there's a pink circle, that represents an inflectional ending, right? Basically a suffix, but an inflectional ending changes one type of verb to another type of verb, or one type of noun to another type of noun. So some of these words, some of these words are in their entirety. So there's the word admit. Some of these words are missing a silent E at the end, okay? What I want you to do is go through your words and just underline your base word. So we have admit, amuse, arrive, begin, control, cover, decide, divide, forget, happen, limit, patrol, permit, prepare, refer, retire, settle, submit, suggest, and transfer. Okay? Choose another color, and what I want you to do is put a star next to the word amusing, arrived, decided, dividing, prepared, retiring, settled, and that's it. Okay? Why do you think I had you star these words? What do you notice about all of them? Okay, hopefully you notice that they all end with E. But when we add our suffix, ing or ed, we have to drop the E. Okay? Now, that's a rule that you learned probably back in 1st or 2nd grade. So there's nothing tricky here, right? Anywhere you see a star, it means drop the E before adding ed or ing. Okay? That should not be new learning for you. You already learned that when you spelled words like taking and making and riding and hiding. You already knew that you had to drop that E and then add ing. Here's the new learning though. Look at the words that are left. Admit. I want you to choose another color, and I want you to slice the word admit into 2 syllables. Admit. Do the same thing with begin, control, cover, forget, happen, limited, patrol, permitted, refer, submit, suggest, and transfer. Okay, so notice what I did. I went through each of these words and I sliced it between the syllables. So on my key, red line equals syllable break. Now there's a very important reason I did that, and here's the confusing part that a lot of adults have trouble with. The word admit has 2 syllables, right? One of those syllables is stressed. That's the syllable that we say a little bit louder and with a little more power. So in the word admit, notice it's the 2nd syllable that is stressed. Admit. Begin. It's the 2nd syllable. We don't begin our homework. We begin our homework. 2nd syllable is stressed. Control. Not control. Control. Now with covered, it's the 1st syllable that's stressed. With forgetting, forget, it's the 2nd. With happen, it's the 1st. With limited, it's the 1st. With patrol, it's the 2nd. With permit, it's the 2nd. With refer, it's the 2nd. With submit, it's the 2nd. With suggest, it's the 2nd. And with transfer, it's the 2nd. So what? Why does it matter that all of these words have a stressed syllable? It matters because that is what helps you decide if you should double the consonant or not. If the syllable touching the ending is stressed, you double the consonant, double T. Admitted, same thing here. Beginning, controlled, forgetting, patrolling, permitted, referring, submitted, and notice here we don't double the consonant because there's two of them there. Okay? Think back to what you learned in 2nd grade when you had a word like knotted, right? My chain was knotted. You had to double the consonant. But when you had a word that ended in 2 consonants like rest, you did not double the consonant. So the rule you learned when you were little is that you double the consonant if the word ends with a short vowel and 1 consonant. Here, we don't double anything because we have 2 consonants. Transferring, we do double the consonant. Okay? So quickly, just notice, anytime the 2nd syllable was stressed, we had to double the consonant before we added ed or ing. Okay? So here's the rule. Double the consonant before adding your ending. However, if the 1st syllable is stressed, you don't have to do anything. Covered, happened, limited. Notice I didn't double my T, my N, my R because it was the 1st syllable that was stressed. Okay? I know that's a lot to take in. You could probably explain that to your parents. But that's really going to be your focus this week, learning those ending rules. Okay? Just real quick before you leave me, let's make sure we know what all of our words mean. So admitted can mean, yes, I did it. I'm sorry. I admitted the truth. Or it could also mean you admitted people into the theater or into the play. If they have a ticket, they were admitted. Amusing means funny. I think you guys know these words. Patrolling. Security guards patrol the area, right, to make sure things are safe. Permitted means allowed. Referring could mean a couple different things. You might refer a friend if you want them to get the same great deal you got, or you want them to get a job. Or you might be referring to a book, like if you quote something that came from a book, you are referring back to that book. Retiring, that means ending work. Maybe you've gotten older and you've decided you're not going to work anymore, so now you're retiring. Submitted means handed in, like I submitted my test. And then suggested means you gave someone an idea. Transferring means sending something from one person to another, or from maybe one bank account to another. That would be transferring. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.